Hey guys, सबैजनालाई नमस्कार. It's been आज एकदमै confusing खासमा चाहिँ. Uh, yeah, yeah. Let me just set things up, है. It's been very hectic के. YouTubeले चाहिँ आफ्नो पुरै त्यो change गराएर रहेछ. So I had to learn the new way to त्यो हुन्छ नि live stream गर्न. And yeah. Let's see. Okay. Anyway, so म चाहिँ अब यो share गर्छु है त. Let me see. I'll just यता. Alright. यो चाहिँ यता राखौँ. Okay. Yes, so it was basically what I'm trying to say is it was shit. It was the worst experience anyone could possibly have. Telegram. Okay, whatever. So what I wanted to talk about today is it's something it's I guess you know. Let me just as a pure live stream it became एकदमै के भयो क्या भन्दै न. It was anyway. So आजको लाइभ स्ट्रिममा हैन खासमा के भयो भने I'll tell you guys the full story. के भयो भने I've been trying to set this up for about 45 minutes now. र युट्युबले आफ्नो पुरै डिजाइन चेन्ज गरेछ के. So I was wondering कि why isn't it working भनेर हैन. अनि के भएछ भने त्यो लाइभ स्ट्रिम ओके सो नयाँ एउटा के रहेछ फिचर भने यु क्यान चुज द टाइप अफ लाइभ स्ट्रिम. अब फर सम फक्ड अप रिजन युट्युब हेज मेड दिस न्यू युजलेस फिचर कि टाइप अफ लाइभ स्ट्रिम होइन. सो के भन्छ वेब क्यामबाट गर्ने कि उता सफ्टवेयरबाट गर्ने कि केबाट गर्ने यु क्यान चुज द्याट है. एन्ड फर सम रिजन they have used webcam as default and I was like je gare pani I was like where is the kunai sabai format change was ke bhacha kata khojda behal. अनि in the end I decided that त्यो format change गर्नु भन्दा चाहिँ हैन it will be like much easier to just create a new live stream and just go from there, because honestly that's much easier. So yeah, अहिले चाहिँ म अब यो स्टुडियो खोलिरहेको छु है आफ्नो यसमा. And let me just try to do a couple of things. What I want to discuss today is internet कहाँ गइरहेछ त, right? Because internet कहाँ गइरहेछ यो बुझ्नु चाहिँ एकदमै it's one of those things that every software engineer, every developer has to sort of understand, sort of get है. So सुरुमा चाहिँ यहाँ कति 4 जना देखेर छ. So can you guys just share this with other people because मैले त्यो अर्को लाइभ स्ट्रिम थियो अनि त्यो लाइभ स्ट्रिमबाट मैले क्यान्सल गरेर अनि अब यो लाइभ स्ट्रिममा आयो के भयो यहाँ चाहिँ इट्स बिकम भेरी कन्फ्युजिङ र आजको चाहिँ लाइभ स्ट्रिममा there is something very interesting. We are going to discuss नेपालको परिस्थितिमा नेपालको कन्टेक्स्टमा भनौँ न यो शब्द चाहिँ हुन्छ नि people love to use this नेपालको प्रसङ्ग उठाउँदाखेरि नेपालको कन्टेक्स्टमा हुन्छ नि त्यो चाहिँ we are going to discuss नेपालको कुरो अलिकता because अहिले चाहिँ यो नेपालमा there is this growth of software खास गरी enterprise software अनि त्यसको बारेमा चाहिँ अलिक कुरा गर्छौँ अनि we're going to talk about a lot of different things है इन्टरनेट कस्तो थियो र अहिले कस्तो छ र कस्तो हुन्छ पछि गएर and we're going to talk about startups that are focusing on the small web as they call it. We'll discuss the small web. मैले यो small web को बारेमा चाहिँ नस्कमा एउटा आर्टिकल पनि दिएको थिएँ I don't know how many read it तर yes there's this guy I forgot his name उसको नाम पनि निकालिहालौँ न त के भएर right नाम पनि निकालिहालौँ what's his name is small I'm not showing you the screen मलाई थाहा छ है मैले त्यो मिस्टेकले स्क्रिन नदेखाएको होइन I'm just sort of looking around अरल बल्कन अब त्यो कसरी उच्चारण गर्छ मलाई थाहा भएन तर अरल बल्कन जीले चाहिँ what is the small web भनेर एउटा आर्टिकल लेख्नु भएको छ र यो आर्टिकल this is the article that really inspired me to make this live stream. So let's just sort of look at के रहेछ है त so let's look at this. This is the author. This is Errol Balkan and this is the website ar.al which I really like ar.al anyway so let's read about the author. I want to discuss this guy. I'm an activist, designer and developer. I'm one half of Small Technology Foundation, a tiny so it's basically what they're doing is they're a small startup. They're a small startup and they do really nice things. I'll talk about that in a while. तर यहाँ चाहिँ let's read this article है सुरुदेखि नै because I love reading so let's read right? Today I want to introduce you to a concept and a vision for the future of our species in the digital and networked age that I've spoken about for a while but never specifically written about. Now it's a bit of a hyperbole अलिकता तर त्यो स्टार्टिङमा अलिकता त्यो चल्छ त्यो हल्का मसाला त्यो हल्का चटक चल्छ के so anyway right the small web right that's what this article is about what is the small web right to understand what the small web is let's compare it to the big web fancy in other words to the centralized web we have today and I want to pause right here and talk about what is this we have to sort of try to understand this कुरो चाहिँ के रहेछ भने oh by the way if you guys can share this stream on Facebook है or Reddit या जे भए पनि हुन्छ नि whatever you use that will be amazing because मलाई पैसा चाहियो है so if you guys can share that anyway so अनि लाइक गर्दै झन् राम्रो because to like गर्यो भने चाहिँ के हुन्छ के अरे खै anyway त्यो गुगलको एल्गोरिदम को कुनै AI को कुनै केही हुन्छ जादु anyway so to understand let's compare okay so I was going to talk about अहिलेको internet what is अहिलेको internet right what is अहिलेको internet is just this really big conglomerates of just Facebook okay Facebook number one number two is Google Amazon right this is the internet now this is it right you have just एकदमै ठुलठुलो कम्पनीहरु right they're basically and it's really sad because, for example, if you say, oh, I'm gonna create a startup, and you're gonna be like, all right, so I need a server for my website or whatever, अनि सर्भर कहाँबाट लिने त गुगलबाट लिने कि एमाजोनबाट लिने कि माइक्रोसफ्टबाट लिने कि कहाँ and it's very okay, it's really sad, to be honest. And there are a few schemes है यो यसको counter गर्न चाहिँ there have been a few people who have countered this, and it's very interesting to hear them sort of के खुलेछ what the I'm sorry. So anyway, so it's really interesting to listen to them and hear their counter opinions on this. Because yeah, आवाज राम्रै आइरहेछ. I was testing आवाज के because सुरुमा अलिकता टेस्ट गर्नुपर्छ बीच बीचमा त्यो कट्टिन्छ के ठ्याक्क. Anyway, so there is a counter to this whole Amazon को Microsoft, all of that, and that is these warehouses, right? So what people are doing is, and this is a very nice business opportunity as well, is मान्छेले के गर्छ भने warehouse-हरु हुन्छ हैन अनि so AWS को आफ्नो server छ, right? So if you use AWS, it's just software basically, you just get SSH access. So a lot of people, what they're doing is they're saying, hey, listen, we have 24 hours electricity, we have really fast internet, I know, and what you can do is you can send your computer over here and we'll run it 24/7, right? You can send your Raspberry Pi here, you can send your server, whatever it is, and we'll run it for you, I know, and त्यसको चाहिँ हामी चार्ज गर्छौं, electricity र internet को चार्ज लिन्छौं, and you'll get your own server or your own hardware running your own software, the whole stack, right? And that's one way to do it, I know. Especially यो चाहिँ नेपालमा चाहिँ एकदमै चल्छ जस्तो छ because यहाँ चाहिँ major issue is electricity and internet, and so if a company can provide 24 hours of electricity, reliable electricity and reliable internet, भनेपछि मान्छेहरुले आफ्नो सर्भर त्यहाँ राख्न सक्छन् के, because hosting a server को चाहिँ main cost नै it's maintenance, right? So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is saying that I'll use someone else's hardware, but I'll have my own software on top, right? So instead of using Facebook, I'll use Mastodon or GNU Social or something like that. Instead of using YouTube, I'll use PeerTube or something like that, you know. And त्यसरी पनि अब यो you can counter this corporate culture. So let's look at the big web. What is the big web, right? And by the way, म अहिले नै भनिदिन्छु है, यो writer is a very the writer writes in a very like hyperbolic way. अलिकता त्यो बढाइ चढाइ अलिकता हैन धेरै नै बढाइ चढाइ लेख्छ है, त्यही भएर अलिकति ध्यान दिएर take it with a grain of salt or two grains of salt, a teaspoon of salt, right? So you're allowed to rent space on megacorps, your reference बुझेको बुझेन, in exchange for giving up your privacy, freedom of speech, and other human rights. I know, and that's what's interesting. So listen, the big web is the centralized web. Okay, it is a web in the sense of a spider's web. I know, and this is interesting. I think the analogy of the web is flawed when you talk about the internet, right? Internet, it's a net, right? It's a net. I know, a net doesn't have a center. Right? It can it's a plane, and the plane can stretch infinitely, and it's uniform everywhere. Whereas a web has a center. I know, a web ko center but it's a spiral or they protrude outwards. Anyway, so that's a web, and so the concept of the analogy of a web doesn't really apply to the internet. We are stuck with it, so let's read. The spider that sits at its center waits to suck you dry are big tech people farmers like Facebook, Google, etc. मैले भनेको थिएँ अलिकता हाइपरबोल नै छ तर पनि it's basically saying it's a centralized thing है अनि I want to read this article as well एकछिनमा म पढ्छु म अर्को ट्याबमा यहाँ खोलिरहेको छु यो Let's go down. The big web has users, a term Silicon Valley has borrowed from drug dealers to describe the people they addict to their services and exploit, who are farmed in server farm. All right. So what this is saying is users, being a user isn't really good when you're talking about centralized. It's basically a hyperbole. I know it's not. अलिकता पोइन्टमा आएको छैनौँ हामी On the big web, we can fit thousands of users into a single server and megacorp scale to run thousands upon thousands of servers. I know, and that's what they're trying to say, right? And this is the point, right? So when you have a, let's say you have a website and you say, well, I have a website on your website, okay, it's like this. Right? Instead of having one website, I know, why don't you have one database? Right, this is my argument, to be honest. And it's a compromise, okay? It's a compromise between people who say, I want to host everything, and the people who say, well, you can't really host everything. It's a compromise, right? So why don't we have a single database somewhere and redundantly whatever to backup like let's have a centralized database अनि त्यो database access चाहिँ धेरै ठाउँबाट गर्न मिल्ने right so you don't have to go to their website to access their database you can access the database via your own website or via a desktop client or via anything and if you are smart if you're into the whole trending you'll know that I'm talking about an API trending one now even if you're old or I'm talking about an API I know I'm not gonna say REST API I'm not gonna say SOAP or XML or anything I'm just gonna say API right so just have an API I'm not gonna say JSON or just let's just have an API I know to access the database for example let's say because you're a database right and to host a database is cheaper than to host a whole website okay because प्राय जस्तो कुराहरु क्याश गर्न मिल्छ हैन so if someone else is running a website it's basically you're distributing the load of the website to multiple users so what I'm talking about is you can have multiple websites and the multiple websites can call your APIs and then they can use your API in their websites and what that does is it reduces the load for non-essential parts such as HTML and CSS and JavaScript and all of that त्यो सबै चाहिँ आफै होस्ट गर्नु पर्दैन आफै सर्भ गर्नु पर्दैन सबै क्लाइन्टहरुलाई and that reduces the load drastically is what I'm trying to say right so anyway back to this topic you must rent your home from megacorps most often you don't have to pay for your home using money right you pay for it by forfeiting your privacy freedom of speech and other human rights so what you're saying is well you get a home or a website या account एउटा खाता खोल्छौ हैन Facebook मा खाता खोल्छौ Twitter मा खाता खोल्छौ I don't know or के मा खाता Reddit मा खाता खोल्छौ all of this and what do you pay with you don't pay with money you pay with your privacy your freedom of speech right you pay with your rights you forfeit your rights for convenience and that's wrong I think that's wrong honestly like नेपालकै कुरा गर्ने हो भने you know हाम्रो पुर्खाहरुले they fought राणा शासनको विरोधमा लड्नु भयो हैन पञ्चायत प्रथाको विरोधमा लड्नु भयो राजतन्त्रको विरोधमा लड्नु भयो and what are all of these are entities that were restricting our rights and we fought against them हैन East India Company को लाई लड्यौं हामीले you know they were trying to take our rights away and we fought them and we won right अनि आज चाहिँ these companies these I don't want to be purai nationalistic, they are foreign, and so these foreign companies that are potentially controlled by foreign governments are mining our data for their use, and that's exploitation. That's the definition of exploitation, and we shouldn't allow that. अब पढौँ है त. The mass surveillance and factory farming of human beings on a global scale is the business model of people farmers like Facebook and Google. Previously कुरा गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ हैन I get this argument, मैले के गैर कानुनी काम गरेको छैन म किन लुकाउँ, and जसले यो भन्छ नि म उसलाई भन्छु कि तिम्रो घरमा पर्दा किन लागेको छ, ढोका किन लागेको छ, झ्याल किन छ, झ्याल किन बन्द गर्छौ त, यु नो घरभित्र गैर कानुनी काम गरेको हो त. कसैले पर्दा लायो भन्नेमा के पर्दा लाएर गैर कानुनी काम मात्र हुन्छ, के आफ्नो त्यो सबैको आफ्नो निजी जीवन हुन्छ हैन, धेरै कुरा सबैले आफ्नो गोपनीयता चाहिन्छ नि हैन, त्यो गैर कानुनी काम गर्न मात्र गोप्य हुनुपर्छ भन्ने छैन हैन. कसले गैर कानुनी काम गर्न गोप्य हो? What I'm trying to say is, त्यसै गैर कानुनी काम गर्दैन म त केही पनि राख्दिन आफ्नो राख्दिन भन्ने सोच छ भने त घरबाट ढोका हटाइदेऊ, झ्याल हटाइदेऊ, पर्दा फाल्देऊ, and then tell me मैले के गैर कानुनी काम गरेको छैन. You know, I don't need all of these. That's bullshit. That's utter bullshit. And also हामीले चाहिँ यो प्लेटफर्महरुमा डेटा नराखे पनि, कन्सियसली डेटा नराखे पनि हैन, they still collect data. So when you sign up on Facebook, they know your name, they know your location, they know your friends, they know a lot of things about you, a lot of things. I was very surprised. म चाहिँ फेसबुकमा मैले लगइन गरेँ हैन, अस्ति मैले फेसबुकको अकाउन्ट क्रिएट गरेँ फर्स्ट टाइम. लाइक I created my Facebook account किनकि यो कम्पनीको लागि चाहिएको थियो, अनि instantly I got recommended friends, मेरो कलेजको फ्रेन्ड्स, मैले आफ्नो नाम मात्र दिएको थिएँ, म यो कलेजमा पढ्छु मैले भनेको थिएन, म यो गरेको छु भनेको थिएन. Facebook knew. How did Facebook know? मैले दिएको हो र होइन, कहाँबाट थाहा पायो त, right? So it's not just about मैले केही दिएको छैन, it's about what are they collecting, you know, what are they collecting, right? त्यो चोरी हो के, right? चोर के भनौँ, चोरले घरभित्र चोर पस्यो अरे भनौँ हैन, चोर पस्यो अरे, तर मान्छेले भन्छ मैले त चोरलाई केही दिएको छैन, उसले कसरी लान्न सक्छ, चोरको कामै हो नदिए, कामै त्यही हो त, उसले गर्ने नै त्यही हो हुन्छ नि, नदिकन लान्छ त्यसले, त्यही भनेकै चोरी नै हो. यिनीहरूले पनि चोरी गरिरहेछन्, नभनिकन लगिरहेछन् हैन. अब मैले दिएको छैन भन्न पाइदैन के, बुझिरहेछौ, राइट? So that's the point. The small web for a web, and so this is what I'm talking about. This is the core of the internet. So I was saying, let's look at the history of the internet. I want to talk a little bit about the history of the internet. Where did internet come from, right? Where did the internet come from? What are we doing? And where are we going? Internet सुरुमा खासमा यो अर्पा नेट whatever, like त्यो स्कुलमा पढ्नुपर्ने त्यो हिस्ट्री लेसनलाई छोडेर चाहिँ एकछिन यतातिर ध्यान दिउँ. So what really is the internet? हैन, so internet was built at its core. Internet was built way before the World Wide Web. Okay, World Wide Web र internet मा पहिला त फरक थाहा हुनु पर्यो. World Wide Web is different, internet is different. So internet भनेको के त? Well, internet is a connection of computers, right? Or an interconnection of whatever, हैन. अनि त्यो त्यसमा TCP stack नै रन हुनुपर्छ भन्ने छैन, right? So TCP मात्रै इन्टरनेट होइन, or UDP मात्र त्यो होइन, HTML वाला फाइल रन त्यो मात्र इन्टरनेट होइन. SSH is internet. But yeah, so SSH runs on top of TCP, but whatever, right? So SSH is internet. Torrents are internet. I know FTP servers are internet. Telnet is internet. Let's say these things run on the internet. World Wide Web runs on the internet, right? And what is the World Wide Web? World Wide Web is basically to HTTP protocol and all of that shit, right? HTTP, HTTPS protocol, all of that. Generally, भन्ने हो भने. And what it does is okay. So let's talk about the World Wide Web action. Right? So World Wide Web is obviously HTTP. And how did the World Wide Web come to exist, and how did internet come to? By the way, email is also email pani internet or email doesn't need World Wide Web, right? I mean, client or browser mounts and all of that, but you know. Anyway, and so what I'm trying to say is, you have the internet, and the internet was built by people who valued decentralization, right? Who valued decentralization, who valued privacy, who valued distribution of resources. Okay, and look at email. Email is heavily decentralized. No one can ban email. I know. IRC is heavily decentralized. Even HTTP ko protocol is heavily decentralized, and people hate it. Yo thulo sansthaharu, they hate it. They abhor HTTP. They say it's stateless. Geez, stateless. God, I can't track people. It's horrible. It's, you know, do what I request out, and they make all of these things. You know, you have WebSockets and all of that. That's like, hey, this thing, you know, HTTP. Well, now it's like Yote request mathi, you can have multiple Yote connection mathi, you can have multiple requests, and it's crazy. Like it's you know. I mean, anyway, so what you have to really thank these people who created the internet and the World Wide Web for this thing, you know. About internet start हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ we got IRC and all of that, and they're all decentralized. त्यसपछि के भयो त? त्यसपछि Google आयो, Microsoft आयो, Google आयो, Facebook आयो, right? And all of these companies, what they said was, hey, instead of having a few thousand users, instead of having a few users, let's have millions of users in the same place, I know, and let's mine their data. I know. And when you have so many users, when you have billions of users, you get a lot of data, I know, and you can predict. Like, listen, let me tell you something. Let me just tell you something. If Google wanted, I know, and Google does this probably privately, Google can predict America ko election. Now, Nepal ko garna sakdaina because not a lot of people don't use Google Nepal ma. Tara America ma चाहिँ Google can predict त्यहाँको election को result before the election, right? Before the election, because if you're voting for someone, you'll search for them on Google. I know, you'll search for them on Google, and you'll do all of that on Google. You'll track, and Google does this. They track all of their users, and they say, oh, well, these people are looking at these candidates, and these people are, so I think this candidate will win. Technically, America doesn't even need an election. They can just ask Google or Facebook or something. You know, it's very sad. It's very sad. तर पनि, yeah. So the point is, I know, this is where we are right now in this dystopia of the internet, like to cyberpunk to हुन्छ नि dystopia त्योमा छौं के हामी अहिले internet को त्यो हेर्ने हो भने, because everything is run by like these large corporations and we're just sort of slaves हुन्छ नि toiling away at our little posting silly things at the mercy of these organizations. It's horrible. It's absurdly horrible. Tara, what can we do? You know, where can we move from there? What अब के गर्ने त अब, right? Let me tell you something. What we can do is we can create our own fucking software. Instead of relying on Facebook, we can rely on Mastodon. Instead of relying on Google, we can rely on SearchX or Circs. I know. Instead of relying on, I don't know, Amazon, I know, host our own servers, right? It's much, honestly, it's difficult. It's more difficult than AWS, right? It is. Tara, number one, it's more environmentally friendly, number one. Number two is using your own server is more, it respects your privacy more. It helps you run your, it gives you more access to whatever you're trying to do. I know. It's just better, man. It's better. In the long run, it's much better. What can we do, भन्ने कुरा? That's the answer. अब चाहिँ in the next phase, म चाहिँ आधी घण्टा यसको बारेमा भाषण झाडे. In the next phase of this talk, I'm going to talk about अब नेपालको कन्टेक्स्टमा चाहिँ नेपालको प्रसङ्गमा चाहिँ हामी के गरिरहेछौँ, के गर्नुपर्छ. अब नेपालमा हेर्ने हो भने we get these media packs, है, रिचार्ज कार्डमा त्यो सोशल मिडिया प्याक्स, युट्युबको प्याक हुन्छ नि, लाइभ टिभीको प्याक, and this is so terrible. Why are we getting these packs? I know. Why can't I use PeerTube, but I can use YouTube for almost for free? Like, it's much cheaper to use YouTube, and it's not a technological thing. It's an artificial, boundary, and it's sad. अब के गर्नु मिल्छ त, right? What can we do? That's the question. The first thing we can do is, we can stop using these social media packs and these YouTube and live TV packs. I know they're destroying they're destroying the future of software. खास गरी, especially as software engineers, as developers, as programmers, we should be at the forefront of protesting against these social media packs and these YouTube packs and these live TV packs. That's the first thing we should be doing. Second thing we should be doing. The second thing we should be doing is we should be hosting our own systems. Let's say you're a budgeting software, right? Don't just start creating your own stupid little budgeting software, right? Look on the internet. There's a lot of free open source software on the internet for budgeting. Use that software. के modify गर्नु छ भने त्यो software modify गर, and push the changes upstream. That's the most important. Push the changes upstream so other people can use it. And that's how you earn money, right? So कुनै accounting firm ले भन्छ, hey, I need a budgeting system, right? You don't start writing your own budgeting system. You don't have the developmental, you don't have the funds to pay for the development of a budgeting system that's actually ready for production. You don't have that, but the community has built something that's much better than anything that any team in Nepal can build. Because it's been developing for 10 years, right? So it's much better than something that's been developing for less than a year or maybe 2 years at most. So let's use these open source software. Let's sell these open source software. Let's market these free open source software, and that is the final thing that we can do. Let's write documentation for these open source software. Let's talk about these things. Just your channel ma, I talk about free open source web applications all the time. I've talked about MB, I've talked about Mastodon, I've talked about dashboards, I've talked about a lot of different things. and I really recommend anyone that's using this platform to just use this software. Right? Okay, about yo sakyo, right? So finally, what I want you guys to do is, what I want is, I want to show you guys something. I want to show you guys something. It's a system that I have made. Right? It's a fork, gitlab.com/ays मा गएर slash, it's a fork of XFC dictionary. है मैले यो fork गरेको छ, यहाँ छ. ओके, यो भयो है. अनि मैले यो fork गरेको छ यो. So what you can do is, यो link मा गएर, I'll put this link in the description. I know your link ma gaera, you can clone this. So I'm going to do that right now. Right? Let's do that right now. And this is a dictionary, by the way. Right? So Nepali sabdakosh kasailai chahiyo bhane chahi this is what you do. Right? So you fork this. You aile yaha cha haina. Yeah. Actually, I'll just remove these things. So git clone. Yeah, clone garam. All right. And so let's go XFC dictionary. I know you have this thing. Yeah, IO, right? And now all you have to do is run autogen.sh. Okay, and यसले के गर्छ हैन. It's basically autoconf to GNU world's most terrible builder generator. It's horrible. तर you know, people use it, so we're using it. यो यस्तो हुन्छ, and we're going to make, and now it's a very nice, now type make to compile, so we'll just type make, you know, and we'll just type make, and it's compiling stuff. Right? It's just compiling things above. And this is a dictionary application that we are compiling. Right? It's very simple. It's compiling stuff. And okay, what you have to do is, if you'll notice a file which is already, but then if you do this, if you do src/xfc for dict, I know your dictionary khulcha. Okay, and this dictionary, you can just use this dictionary, so you can just say hello, ani यसले चाहिँ अब hello को definition दिन्छ. मेरो internet is very slow, so anyway, an expression of greeting blah blah blah, right? This is wordnet बाट आयो, but at the same time you can say जस्तै नेपाल हैन, नेपालको त्यो हेरौं हैन, अनि so this is what you get. नेपालको शब्दकोशमा चाहिँ नेपाली बृहत शब्दकोशबाट तानेको हो यो चाहिँ है. नेपाली बृहत शब्दकोशले चाहिँ नेपालको व्याख्या चाहिँ यसरी गर्छ. सो जस्तै लेट्स लुक एट नाम, सरी हैन, लेट्स लुक एट नाम चाहिँ कसरी टाइप गर्छ हेरौँ है त. फक, स्क्रिन शेयर मेरो जहिले यस्तै हुन्छ ब्रो, के भनौँ. इट्स अलराइट, सुरुदेखि गरौँ. लेट्स स्टार्ट सुरुदेखि, यस्तै हो जिन्दगी. So let's remove this. Okay, so we are going to build a Nepali शब्दकोश हैन. So let's copy this है. सबैजनाले मैले यो लिंक पठाएँ, so just go to this link है. लाइभ च्याट मा छ है यो लिंक चाहिँ. Go to this link हैन, gitlab.com/ayys/xfce number 4-dict dict. Okay, यसमा जाउँ, and then click on this clone button, अनि यो clone with https वालामा copy गरौँ, अनि git clone हानौँ and paste this here. Okay, यसले चाहिँ यस्तो गर्छ. Okay, यो भयो. It's cloning अब 34 अघि त स्वाट्टै भयो थियो त, लजायो क्या हो. ल यहाँ अब मैले cd गरेँ हैन, and you have this thing, right? अनि यहाँ चाहिँ all you have to do is run this file है. अनि autogen डरला, just run this file अनि press enter है. अनि it will do some autoconf magic है blah 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 blah. It's checking basically like configure run गरिरहेछ अनि it'll run all of this stuff. You don't really have to understand. अनि यो सकिसकेपछि चाहिँ just run make make enter है अनि now it's just going to make stuff हैन it's just going to म चाहिँ यताबाट म चाहिँ अर्को स्क्रिनमा गरिरहेको छु के so you guys don't see it yeah anyway alright so यो भएन and make run भयो है so make run भइसकेपछि चाहिँ I can just run this command src भित्र चाहिँ src भित्र चाहिँ xfce4-dict भन्ने छ हैन so I ran that अनि यसमा चाहिँ अब I can just say hello अनि hello टाइप गरेपछि it gives me hello को answer हैन अनि म नेपाली पनि लेख्न सक्छु so नेपाल गर्छु म or let's do something else हैन let's do ram हैन फेरि यो धर्मको गर्यो भन्छन् होला फेरि मान्छेहरुले let's do समाज हैन so समाज एउटै रहनसहन व्यवस्था धर्म आदि अंगाल्ने वा एकै स्थानमा बसोबास गर्ने मानिसहरुको समूह हैन भनेर आयो right so this is what you get right समाज को चाहिँ definition yeah so you get this really nice Nepali शब्दकोश है it's very simple to do अनि of course यो चाहिँ अरु त्यसमा पनि गर्न मिल्छ हैन so let's say you have gnome dictionary हैन so gnome dictionary यस्तो हुन्छ अब मैले gnome चलाइरहेको छैन that's why it looks ugly तर anyway so this is your gnome dictionary अनि gnome dictionary को preferences मा गयो भने you can add this you can just say nbs यहाँ चाहिँ dictionary server यहाँ चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने kosh.siasang.ml हुन्छ and the port number is कति हो यसको port number मैले बिर्से यसमा थियो port number is 59251 हैन so just go over here 59251 गर्ने add गर्दिने हैन nbs and just click on this right select this अनि यो भइसकेपछि चाहिँ you can just say हनुमान हैन अनि हनुमान के भयो आयो similar words dictionary sources I don't know यो के आयो error while looking up definition हनुमान छैन so it will look up similar words okay so it just does shit and it's slow है खासमा because online हो नि त dictionary it's not offline okay so let's say अब and this is where I point things out let's say अब you want offline dictionary because offline dictionary is much easier to work with I know it's much easier so offline dictionary चाहिन्छ भने चाहिँ I know you just I'll give you the link for this as well अनि यो म यो देखाउँछु dictionary को काम अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ I'll talk about I'm sorry so यो dictionary को काम देखापछि I'll talk about यहाँ छ त्यो okay I'll talk about why this is necessary in doing this so यो project चाहिँ you can clone this project अब है म यसको लिंक पनि पठाइदिन्छु हैन so you can clone this project मैले क्लोन गरे okay I'll just do sorry यहाँ हैन actually hold on so let's say यो dictionary वालामै छौं है हामी अहिले अब let's say अब you want to run this sorry so you can just do sudo make install हैन अनि यसले पासवर्ड माग्छ so म पासवर्ड राखिदिन्छु and it will do some shit यस्तो जादु के and now I can run it from my launcher हैन so xfc4 dict भनेर चाहिँ I can run it यहाँबाट नै हैन यहाँ I don't have to use the terminal अब चाहिँ so sudo install गर्यो भने चाहिँ it will install it in your system अनि अरु एपहरु चलाएको जस्तै यो एप पनि चलाउँदा हुन्छ अनि यो अनइन्स्टल गर्नु छ भने sudo make uninstall यसरी भन्दा हुन्छ राइट के भयो Is this working? के भयो कस्तो अड्की आइरहेछ कि कस्तो आइरहेछ I'm not really sure. Anyway, I don't really tell me है त्यो अड्की आइरहेछ कि कस्तो आइरहेछ सो यो भयो डिक्सनरीको कुरा हैन अब so let's install the त्यो डिक्सनरी वाला पनि हैन सो यो यहाँ गयौं यो क्लोन गर्यो कपी गर्यौं हैन अनि गेट क्लोन यो लिंक चाहिँ त्यसमै छ है के भन्छ त्यसलाई त्यसमा छ लाइभ च्याट सो यो चाहिँ अलिकता डाउनलोड गर्न टाइम लाग्छ बिकज इट्स अ लार्ज त्यो यो चाहिँ कति छ साइज यसको इट्स 58.59 MB जति छ हैन सो इट्स गोना टेक अ व्हाइल किनकि मेरो इन्टरनेट इज शिट it's very slow ल भयो फाइनली अब यो नेपाली लार्ज डिक्सनरी छ हैन यो चाहिँ कस्तो भने नेपाली बृहत शब्दकोशको ट्रान्सलेसन अनुवाद गरेर त्यो भयो के है एनीवे सो यहाँ गए हामी यहाँ गयौं हैन यहाँ एन्ड देयर इज अ लट अफ थिंग्स हियर तर व्हाट यू क्यान डू इज यू क्यान गो टु कन्फ भन्ने फोल्डरमा हैन एन्ड देन यू क्यान जस्ट रन यो मेक भन्ने कमान्ड है अनि इट विल टेक अ व्हाइल टु जेनेरेट एभ्रिथिङ है अनि yeah so it ran a few commands you know it ran a few commands अनि so now what you have to do is sudo pacman -s digd install गर्नु पर्यो ओके यो चाहिँ डेबियन होस् कि जेसुकै होस् digd नै हो नाम यसको चाहिँ so you have to install digd okay so after you install digd हैन you do sudo make install यही फोल्डरमा मैले के गरे did I fuck it up I think I fucked it up hold on cat make file मा के छ I have to run this command yeah यो bug छ एउटा I have to fix this bug so ले dictionary generate गर्यो and I'll just sorry and then just mv this you know so I ran these commands I'll fix it by the way when you pull it एकछिनमा you can just do sudo make install and it will be fixed so actually अहिले नै fix गरौँ न है I'll just show you how I do it so this is my working environment conf/make file मा जाउँ and all I have to do is remove this line एउटा हैन खासै केही गर्नु पर्दैन के थियो यो थियो हैन ओके सो remove dependency when installing because you know it doesn't work as root okay so and now if you guys pull this नयाँ त्यो पुश गरेन मैले मैले पुश गरेको छैन ओके I pushed it push गरेपछि I'll just pull this यहाँबाट and this is live. So whatever, sudo make install गरे हैन and it just works now. It's fine, right? अनि यो गरिसकेपछि चाहिँ you just have to start systemctl start d I think is the अनि यो गरिसकेपछि चाहिँ you can just go to your dictionary हैन यो फाइलमा जाने डिक्सनरी सर्भरमा चाहिँ यहाँ चाहिँ लोकल होस्ट अनि 26866 हो कि के हो त्यस्तै केही छ आई थिंक दिस इज इट दिस वर्क कुडन्ट कनेक्ट टु सर्भर या आई थिंक के थियो यसको एकछिन पहा डिक्सनरी प्रोटोकल भयो हैन अनि यसको चाहिँ लेट्स लुक एट द पोर्ट कहाँ गयो पोर्ट खै 2628 ओके 2628 हैन अनि मैले हेलो सर्च गरेँ के हो ए ओके सो यो नेपाली मात्र हो नि त नेपाल सर्च गरे भने इट जस्ट कम्स के अब फ्याक्टै आउँछ के इट डजन्ट टेक लङ हैन सो जस्तै मैले राम लेखेँ भने इट जस्ट कम्स फ्याक्टै किनकि लोकल होस्टमै छ नि त इट्स भेरी फास्ट अब चाहिँ इट्स instantaneous. I know. So you can use this as well, guys. You can use this dictionary, and now I'm going to talk about why we need this. Well, Nepali ma lekhna chai हामीले सजिलो बनाउनु पर्यो. Okay. Nepali ma lekhna हामीले सजिलो बनाउनु पर्यो. किनभने when you start writing so लेखकहरूले चाहिँ जस्तै नेपालीमा लेखिरहेछन् भने spell checking पनि छैन के it's really sad. So what I'm trying to do is I want to add spell checking. Nepali lekhakarhuluलाई चाहिँ I want to give them spell checking. I want to give them grammar checking. I want to give them a way to look up definitions, meanings, rhyming wordहरु निकाल्ने. हैन? I want to give them a way to find synonyms and antonyms and all these things, right? So for example, I'm working on rhyming words अहिलेको लागि चाहिँ I'm sorry. I'm working on rhyming words. Hey, so let me just oops. Let me just hold on a second. I think this is it. Okay. So rhyming words. And this is the command for finding rhyming words. Obviously it will be automated on the GUI mounts and stuff like that. But right now, so egrep ma अहिले चाहिँ यस्तो छ हैन what I want to do is I want to say things that end with just a mo right and dollar so things that end in right so what are the things that end in and then now I can do mousepad F I know ani ayani Akam, Acham, Anam, Aviram, Inam, right? These are all rhyming words. Ilam, Islam, Uddam, Kiman, Kimham, Kham, Galam. There's a lot of words. I know there are rhyming word or why hamro. Right? And this is a very fun thing to do. I know this is very fun thing to do. I mean, this is the thing that I'm working on right now. अनि I'm यो चाहिँ अब सिया प्रविधि भित्रै त्यो एउटा यो परियोजना भित्र आउँछ त्यो लेखकहरुको लागि चाहिँ एउटा सफ्टवेयर बनाउने right now I'm working on this तर yeah it's if you guys want to contribute है मेरो लिंकहरु यहाँ मैले लाइभ च्याटमा राखिदिएको छ you can check it out run it आफ्नो कम्प्युटरमा केही बगहरु भेट्यो भने चाहिँ create an issue report it or try to fix it yourself whatever you want तर या सो आजको लाइभ स्ट्रीम चाहिँ यति हो मलाई थाहा छ यो मैले चाहिँ केही समयदेखि चाहिँ म यो अनलाइन आइरहेको थिएन एन्ड द रिजन फर द्याट इज कि मेरो इयरफोन थिएन गतिलो इयरफोन थिएन अनि मेरो इयरफोन आयो अनि फेरि ट्याक्स तिर्नुपर्ने सिजन आएको थियो के लफडा अनि या सो अब सबै कुरा सल्टिसक्यो and I'm back to live streams अब भोलि पनि live stream हुन्छ and we'll talk a lot about मैले चाहिँ खासमा के सोचिरहेको छु भने मैले चाहिँ मलाई एउटा लिस्प प्रोग्रामिङको चाहिँ एउटा त्यो गर्न मन छ वर्क फ्लो लाइक अल द फन थिङ्स अबाउट लिस्ट प्रोग्रामिङ अनि यस्तो यस्तो कुराहरू सो आई होप यु गाइज आर इन्ट्रेस्टेड इन द्याट अनि या सो थ्याङ्क यू आजको लाइभ स्ट्रिम यति नै हो फेरि भोलि 1 बजेदेखि यो लाइभ स्ट्रिम सुरु हुन्छ म आउने नै छु हजुरहरू आउनु नै हुन्छ यो जुन त्यो पहिलाको त्यो समाचारहरूमा भन्थ्यो नि ल अब भोलि भेटौँला है त ल अब यो चाहिँ भन्दैन थियो भोलि भेटौँला है त त्यसो मैले त सो भोलि भेटौँ भोलि 1 बजे म आउँछु आज फेरि ढिलो पनि भयो कि किनकि त्यो युट्युबले फेरि आफ्नो पुरै त्यही चेन्ज गराएर रहेछ अनि आई ह्याड टु टेक अ टाइम अनि त्यो लाइभ स्ट्रिमको भिडियो पनि मैले पुरानो डिस्कार्ड गरेर नयाँ बनाउनु पर्यो अनि मान्छेहरू आउन सकेनन् अनि इट वाज अ लट अफ ह्यासल अनि तर पनि यस्तो अप्ठ्यारो भए पनि आइदिनको लागि चाहिँ उपस्थित व्यक्ति सबैजनालाई जननी सबैजनालाई धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु अनि भोलिदेखि चाहिँ आई डोन्ट नो मेबी आइल टक अबाउट ल्याङ्ग्वेज है maybe I'll talk about language maybe I'll talk about मलाई चाहिँ एउटा ए होइन भोलि I want to talk about language नै I'll keep you updated किनकि नेपाली टाइप गर्न चाहिँ कम्प्युटरहरूमा it's a fucking pain in the ass so we're going to discuss that है कान्तिपुर प्रीति युनिकोड यो फल्ना चिल्ना यताउता त्यस्तो दिमाग खाइदिन्छ so we're going to make a keyboard layout on the stream भोलि चाहिँ we'll